Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Albayan Live. I'm your host, Abu Abdurrahman, and I'm very pleased to be joined by my dear brother Saeed Khodary from your discount chemist in Greenacre. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, rahmatullah barakatuh.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
Yes, Nadal. Have you missed me?
I sure have.
I've missed you too.
Yes, it's been a few months since you were on the Under the Mimbar, and even longer since me and you were together for the pharmacy hour many months ago.
A lot of things have happened since then.
Yes, you have previously discussed the big pandemic, the COVID, and a lot of things have just happened over the last, the year. We're about to enter December, the last month of the year. Yeah. Subhanallah al-Azim, how's it been?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Extra busy?
Calmed down. It's calmed down. Obviously, things are getting back to normal in the pharmacy. But yeah, it was a bit crazy there for the few months.
Now, for our first-time listeners, Brother Saeed is a pharmacist from your discount chemist in Greenacre, especially there in the Coles building there on Burania Road. We have to qualify that statement since there's a new Coles in Chullora.
That's right.
So, still there's two Coles. One's Chullora, one's Greenacre. Brother Saeed is mainly at the in the Greenacre Coles building there, your discount chemist. For the brothers and sisters who are in Greenacre, they know what I'm talking about. Now, a lot has happened. Have the shortages finished? Still going? Still affected by the COVID, or it's over that now?
No, pretty much 95% of shortages are done. Everything's, like I said, getting back to normal now. So there shouldn't be any shortages now.
I might ask you later, and we'll see how that changes when the much talked about COVID vaccine comes out, or soon to be. We'll maybe touch upon that at the end of the program. We'll see how that happens.
If anyone's got any questions, feel free to throw them in. We've got a little bit of information on them, so we'll be able to help you out with it.
Inshallah. We'd like to welcome all our viewers on Facebook and all those listening on the Albayan Radio app. Welcome. Please leave your contribution there on our Facebook page on the live stream there, or any questions you have for our brother Saeed. Now, Saturday and Sunday, they were scorchers, which is going to lead us into our main topic for tonight. I think I remember reading that it was the hottest night on record in around 53 years in New South Wales. November night, I think they mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
It's pretty warm.
Yeah, so today's a bit cooler. Tomorrow, 35 degrees, they're saying, inshallah, in Sydney, New South Wales. Yeah. So our main topic for tonight, as we see there from the poster, summer health tips and school holiday advice. We're just about to enter summer in a few hours, the summer season here in good old New South Wales. So let's start with that. How are we going to deal with the good old heat?
Good old summer. I love summer.
You're a summer person?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind summer. Get out in the garden, get the cucumbers growing.
Yeah.
If you
haven't
got a green thumb.
You have to plant them in spring, don't you?
You do. I did do it this year.
Yeah, how's it going?
They've been good, actually. They've been, it's alhamdulillah, so far so good.
And if you need advice, my dad, he visits you there. You can get the advice there.
Yeah, he's got the tips on the good cucumbers.
Local Greenacre man. He's been there for a long time. May Allah preserve him.
Amen.
You can ask him.
Every
time I grow anything, he criticizes me like no tomorrow. Because they're brought up in the gardening, the farming lifestyle back in overseas. That's what they grew up on. So we're not going to grow up in Sydney, Australia.
Well, you can learn.
We have trouble buying tomato, let alone growing it.
This is true.
Cucumbers.
Well, I do like summer because you get out in the garden, you get active. Obviously, and it's more daylight hours, more things to do. So generally pretty good, but there's a couple of things that we need to be wary of, especially as it gets really, really hot.
Is heat stroke a potential problem?
Yeah, definitely. It sure is, especially in the older people, older generation, our parents, grandparents, etc. The young babies, young children, pregnant women, of course, as well. All. The people who, like the babies and the children, they don't know, they might say they're thirsty, but they're playing around and these kind of things. And they are susceptible. So, we do have to be careful with that. And, look, it's not that hard to get heat stroke or heat stress, they call sometimes. And it's basically just when the body gets dehydrated and it just becomes unable to cool itself. So normally, what would happen in as you get hot, you sweat. So that's the normal way your body cools itself down. But what happens if you dehydrate so much, you've basically got no more sweat left to cool you down. So that's when you go into heat stroke or heat stress. So that's where you need to be very careful.
How can we prevent it, inshallah?
Well, obviously, dehydration's the major cause of it. So
stay hydrated.
Water. Water. It could be, a lot of people don't like water, so you could...
Coffee.
Well...
that causes dehydration for some,
it does,
doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's a mild diuretic, coffee. So, mild diuretic, so it'll make you lose water. So look, when it's hot, sometimes I might have an iced coffee or something like that, but it doesn't really sort of make it any better. Still coffee, just cold. But you would... normal water. For kids, it could be even just ice blocks if they're sick of drinking water, or they don't like the taste of it. So little things like that, of course. And you can use the flavored things like hydrolyte and gastrolite and some other hydrating things.
So maybe stay cool as well.
Yeah, definitely. Keep out of the sun when it's really, really hot. If you're gardening, like we just spoke about, try to get under the shade if you can, or using a hat, making sure you use a hat. I don't know. My dad uses a hat. Not sure how many people like using hats these days.
One of the things we don't have to worry about this year because of the COVID restrictions is crowded areas.
Yes, that's true. There'll be none of those this year. But, when there's, this is information for all time. So yes. When there's Hajj or something like that, that is a real problem. I've seen it many times.
I saw it as well when I was there. Quite scary as well.
Yeah. So, when you're in things, crowded places like that, or even when it's really hot and, you just need to cool your body down. So even if you put water on your head, on your hair.
Nice cold
wudu. Like that. Yeah, cold wudu, of course. It's a great, just make it really cold. And also... There's also other things, they're like cooling towels. We sell them at the pharmacy. These towels, they come in a container, fill up with water, put it in the fridge or, in the freezer, and it sits around your neck, just cools the temperature down of your body.
Now, we know it's bushfire season and there are high alerts out there. Can that affect the community if, inshallah, it doesn't happen? We ask Allah to keep us safe. But if it does...
Yeah, definitely. The heat that comes out, I don't know if you probably stand around a barbecue on a hot day and you can feel the heat that radiates out of a barbecue. Now, imagine that when you're getting close to a bushfire or there's bushfires. It's hot, it's windy, and really starts to dehydrate.
Now, I've never asked you this before. You do have some rural... your discount chemist locations. Yes, have you ever been near or affected by bushfires?
Well, last year the bushfires were right up around our stores actually. So we had a few closed down just for evacuations. But alhamdulillah, there was nothing got too close, and I was down in Sydney at the time. So, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing, the dehydration from it. And these are the things that we need to be careful of.
Now, we hear a lot of stuff about the sun and how much sun you should get and the lack of vitamin D and this and that. How should we deal with the sun in summer? Like, there's a lot of talk out there. I've seen, I know you don't like the Facebook medical professionals when they're not medical professionals, but there's a lot of kalam out there. Get a certain amount of sun. It's, yes. And this and that.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the moderate approach?
Inshallah. Facebook. I have nothing against Facebook, but there's a lot of theories on Facebook that are just people just theories. I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm not saying they're right, but you just got to be careful where you take your information from. In general, you can't just Google something and take it. You got to. Sometimes it's the site that you're on. Make sure look. There is a lot of knowledge and there is a lot of information out there. So just take it, but just be careful where the information's actually coming from. And if you've got any questions, you can ask a professional, your doctor, your pharmacist.
Sunscreen and the like. Should we use it?
Look, sunscreen, if you need to use sunscreen, of course, use it, 50 plus or higher. Well, in Australia, it's only 50 plus anyway. But, honestly, the best is to cover up. So especially with children, if they're going to go swimming, put a rashie on them, get something.
There is that swim gear now that is long, covers the neck and the round hats.
Yeah. So that those, especially for the kids, they're better because they leave out way more than just 50 plus. They block out way more UV rays than 50 plus. But on the face, around the ears and that kind of thing, definitely a 50 plus sunscreen is good. Now, they'll still get some vitamin D, so don't worry. It's not going to completely block, everything. It just helps stopping the burning.
Now, sometimes, as happened to us growing up, sometimes you're going to go out there, you're going to forget the sunscreen, you're going to be sunburnt. How do we treat it? What's the best way to treat it?
So
that's a myth thing as well. I'm not going to mention some of the myths. No. There's a lot of myths out there about sunscreen. Yeah. The good old toothpaste was used for everything back in the day. I've mentioned it before. Yes. I'm not going to open that up again.
Yeah, well, toothpaste is not going to fix the sunburn, unfortunately. It might help a little bit, only from a cooling point of view if it's got a bit of menthol in it or something, but it's generally not going to do anything. Look, there's always the drinking water. There's, cold shower or a cool bath. That'll definitely take the sting out of it. Think of sunburn as a normal burn. So, if you get burnt, what do? You run out under cold water for a while just to take the sting out of it. So sunburn would be, similar to that. So try to keep yourself cool. If you're burnt, try not to use any soap on it because that can sometimes irritate it, especially if it's really red. And there is products, so you speak to your pharmacist.
Should you peel it or avoid that?
Do not peel it. It's very tempting to peel. I put my hand up. I've done that on my head because I'm bald. So sometimes I forget about that, and I get sunburnt every now and again.
I've got some advice for you. Wear a hat.
Yeah, well, normally happens when I'm playing soccer. Believe it or not.
Yes.
In winter.
In winter,
yeah. It happens nearly all the time.
I've been burnt in winter as well on the neck, but
yeah. It's a myth that you're going to only get burnt in summer, and the people who are avid snow skiers will know that you can actually get burnt on the snowfields as well.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Just from the reflection of the sun on the ice, subhanallah, you get burnt as well. So
there's weather apps now. They tell you now. The UV rate and all that, what you should do and not do. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm still a bit old school. I just can tell when I'm outside, oh, wow, it's hot. Or you can generally feel the sun on you. But, little kids, they have to be very careful. So, their skin is very, very sensitive to the sun. So, but there is things you can take from the pharmacy. So, the aloe vera sprays or burn sprays and the like. And you would use a spray if it's really, really sort of touch. Otherwise, you could use some kind of other creams or something like that. If you do get blisters, though, you shouldn't pop them. Don't pop them. Just cover them. That way, once they, go down naturally, they don't get infected. And, if it's really, really painful, you can use some, medication from over the counter like Panadol or Nurofen and that kind of thing just to take the edge off. It's only minimal, but it can help a little bit as well.
Yeah, we have to be very careful, especially with the school holidays approaching and many people just choosing to go away, and especially now with a lot of the borders reopened and it's going crazy online. A lot of things are just booked out from what I've been informed.
Yeah, it sure is. I
think people are sick of indoors and staying where they are. They just want to
get out. Spread their wings.
Which leads us to our next point here, and that's the school holidays. Yes. I know my kids finished this week, some kids next week, and I think the public schools, most of them are the week after. So pretty much everyone will begin school holidays.
It's fun and games. Yeah. Just one more thing on the sunburning. Yes. There is some certain medications that can cause you to be burnt quicker than normal. So some anti-acne medication or psoriasis medications. So just just make sure if you're on those type of medications, to check with your pharmacist or your doctor if any of those things that you might be on will cause you to burn quicker. So and if that's the case, you definitely would be needing to use sunscreen all the time and wearing a hat majority of the time as well.
Yeah, and like that gear, that swimming gear, which just covers your body, I think is the best. Even if they're quite pricey, some of them, and there are cheaper alternatives. So that's pretty much one of the best things you can do.
Yeah.
School holidays and kids. This is the big topic now. I'm going to try to give some advice.
Yeah.
Where do we start with the kids? We don't want them to be indoors because they were indoors for a while with the COVID restrictions. We want them to be outdoors at the same time. We don't want them to be be sunburned or be dehydrated. Where do we start with the advice for the children and school holidays?
Well, look, every family is different, of course, but I think, the main thing is, thinking back when I was a kid and probably when you were a kid, not that long ago.
It's a long time ago. You're trying to be positive, are you?
I was trying to.
I like that because you're older than me, so that's pretty good. I have to learn from you.
Well, we didn't stay indoors that much. We did a little bit. We did a little bit, but
today
it's different now.
You've seen that meme or whatever it's called, where they, back in the day, our parents would tell us, "Come inside."
Yes.
And now they're telling the kids, "Go outside."
Go outside. Exactly.
So it's flipped completely.
Yeah, totally. So, the main thing is we do want to try to keep them active. You've got kids, I've got kids, alhamdulillah, and we want to try to keep them active. Some kind of physical fitness or some kind of something. It has been there is evidence to show that children's BMI or their body mass index during summer holidays tends to go up, and this is because they not as active, not playing around the schoolyard. They might be at home. Parents might still be working during some of those days. So, they're just, playing PlayStation or is that what they play now? PlayStation and online games now.
Yeah, there's what's the Nintendo?
Fortnite, Switch.
Yeah.
That kind of
Tablets,
stuff.
phones.
Yep. So, we want to try to get them to, at least for 1 hour a day, be a little bit active, get outside, do something. They could help you gardening if you've got a gardening. They could get them to mow the lawn, wash the cars, whatever it is.
Maybe go outside, play with the balls and ruin the garden for you.
Yeah. Just don't make any holes in the windows. So basically any child over 5, they should be aiming for at least an hour of something physical. It doesn't have to be exercise, but something physical, get them out and about.
Yeah, they need adventure. They need outdoor activities. What else can we suggest for them?
Is there a camp on this holiday?
Well, from
ASWJ
what I've been informed, they're trying, but it's quite tough at this time of year and with the current restrictions and what have you. So
it is
not 100% sure, but I know they're trying. The brothers are trying.
Yeah. So there was one last year, correct?
Last year, yeah, they had at the end of last year. They normally have at the end of last year. I think it was locally here. Where was it? I forgot the location. It slipped my mind.
Was that? Oh, I think that was somewhere near Foster.
No, I think it was close around an hour or two away, where they had to, drive to the location and catch a boat.
Oh, nice.
It was an island or something. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, nice. Well, there's, so try to, if there's some, things happening with the gem out or something like that, try to get the kids out to that. Or if you're a camper, I don't know. Do you like camping?
I'm not good at it, but I wouldn't mind doing it.
Either am I.
I'm not very outdoors. I have to get into it.
Well, it's good. I don't mind it. I don't do it often.
So for the last 20 years, I've been wanting to be more active, get into fishing, camping, hunting, and then it's still waiting.
I don't have the patience for fishing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've gone out a few times, but I'm very bad at it.
Yeah.
When you catch, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So there's other things. I mean, these days there's this geocaching stuff.
What's geocaching?
It's look, I don't know a lot about it, but it's basically like an outdoor treasure hunt, real life outdoor treasure hunt.
Excellent.
So I think it's similar to, it's not Pokemon, but sort of similar to where you go and there's hints and I don't know, probably some of the listeners know more about it than me, but
it's an
I've
idea.
heard
It's
about
good,
it, but it's a different idea. And, with the younger kids, they like that sort of technical tech stuff where they can use their phone. So, that could be something where you go around and you look for prizes or something. They're just little somethings. So, something like that can help. I would suggest definitely if your kids aren't swimming, some kind of swimming,
archery, horse riding, if possible.
Yeah. Well, we know that there was some recommendations by the Prophet.
And the companions, especially swimming, archery is very good, and also horse riding. There are some services available.
Yeah, there is archery in Homebush.
That's right. Yeah.
So for our Sydney listeners, there is archery there. So there is things you can do. Even if it's just something outdoors with the mini golf, whatever it is, get them going, get them active. And one of the other things too for the kids is you got to let them sleep. You got to get them to sleep. It's school holiday time, but they still need their sleep. So, it's very tempting to, it's holidays, let them stay up as long as they want. It's okay every now and again, but, they should still be sleeping.
Keep them in the normal routine, is that right?
Yeah, as much as you can. I mean, look, there is recommendations. 3 to 5 years old, they generally need 10 to 13 hours. 6 to 13-year-olds need 9 to 11 hours, and 14 to 17, 8 to 10 hours, somewhere around there.
Yeah. What are you sleeping these days?
I'm about a 6-hour sleeper.
Yeah, I'm not far behind. I think I'm closer to 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I'm not very good. I try to fit in a nap. It doesn't always work out.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to.
As you know, with kids, the quality of sleep sometimes is not very good.
I know. I was recently reminded.
Yes. Alhamdulillah. So sleep. I remember a few months ago we had Sheikh Jamil in here. And we were speaking about school holidays, how to do a school holiday program in terms of for the kids, more of the Islamic studies side and teaching them and educating them. And he recommended to get them up after Fajr.
Yes.
Get them out and about early.
Yeah.
Make the most of their day. And he also mentioned, I think you're going to mention it, get them in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Get them helping out in the garden.
Look, it's, helping them out, in the garden, in the kitchen. I helping him, get him to help out in the kitchen, it's good for them. They learn, the basic skills of cooking, but they also learn, they tend to develop healthy habits as well. Because, when you're in the kitchen cooking things, you're not cooking, junk food normally. Hey, you might make a cake here and there. But, you generally, you help them make dinner, you cook something different, you see what they like, open up a recipe or a cookbook and, try something different. And it gets them engaged with you, gets them up and about, gets them thinking. And there's been studies to show that the kids that sort of know the basics of cooking and little bits of cooking, they tend to eat less takeaway when they get older. Which is and you think back and you think, that's just, it would make sense.
Massive problem for all.
Now it's a huge problem.
I've got some advice for myself first and everyone else. Secondly, delete the Uber Eats app.
Oh, that Uber Eats.
The menu log app. And the what's the other one?
Deliveroo. DoorDash. There's a million of them now.
Delete them all.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
They're handy sometimes, but when they become daily habits, I think it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, they are. Look, it's convenient, but generally, there's not many healthy alternatives on there. There is some.
Also, with the kids working, whether in the kitchen or outdoors gardening or whatever it may be, it builds a relationship between the children as well, the brothers and sisters, the siblings.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a great initiative too.
Might cause a few fights, but that's healthy.
That's normal. That's healthy. That's normal. One brother said to me, "Can I ask you a question? Do your kids fight?" I go, "Yeah, it's normal." Because I just wanted to see if my kids are normal. And I told him it's normal, perfectly normal. Kids fight. We fought with our brothers, and as long as it's controlled and doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, sibling rivalry, and it's as long as it's not violent as well. You might have a few words here and there, but as long as you're not we may have got violent. Hopefully my brothers aren't listening.
Yeah. Before we continue with more general summer health tips, I've got a comment here. Seems like a question. Going back to the old style today.
Nice.
Our tablets
on paper.
Tablets out of action, so we got the old style, the best way. Brother Ibrahim, he asks, obviously water is the best for dehydration. However, do you recommend kids use hydrolyte products or anything similar? Also, he's got another question. Also, what's the best sunscreen, which is long lasting?
Okay.
So it's two questions there.
Very good.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ibrahim.
Yeah. So hydrolyte is hydrolyte is, in terms of rehydrating the body, would be better than water because it's got some salts in there. So definitely yes. On a hot day, if you're a tradesman and you're working outdoors, definitely some hydrolyte. Or if you're you've been to the gym or you've been running outside, hydrolyte. Young kids, hydrolyte. They come in ice blocks. They're much better than a Super Duper for hydration. Not as sweet, obviously, but definitely would recommend them.
Now, we're not recommending this, but if you do get stuck with Powerade and Gatorade, which are both high in sugar, let's be frank,
yes, they are.
Is it just a last resort? Or
look, they're okay, but the normal varieties, they do have the sodium or the salt. They've got the magnesium. They've got those nutrients in it, but they've also got a lot of sugar, and the sugar content is very high. And so what happens is the concentration of the sugar, I don't want to get too technical, but it's too high for the water to get absorbed into the kidneys or through the kidneys at a better rate than what you would with hydrolyte or normal water. So it's the concentration of the glucose and the sugar in the hydrolyte, which has got a little bit of glucose in it, that makes the transfer of the electrolytes and the water through the kidney and back into the body at the optimal rate.
And now the sunscreen alternatives.
The sunscreen, yeah. Now look, sunscreen. All our sunscreens in Australia are really good and good quality and tested. So long lasting. I'm gonna myth bust something for you. When they say 4 hours on the bottle, it's probably not going to be 4 hours, because you really have to be sort of sitting somewhere, not moving, lying down, not sweating, not going near any water. Even when they say it's water resistant, it's sort of true. It's not completely wrong, but for optimal sunscreen, every 2 hours, no matter what the packet says. Especially if you want to make sure, that's what I would do every 2 hours, and I would avoid the sprays. So the ones that spray, I don't really want to mention any names, but the ones that spray like aerosols, like a deodorant can, they're not the best to actually protect. They work, but it goes on very fine. So if it's really windy, it's probably not even getting on your arm or your legs that you're trying to paint on. So go with a lotion or a cream, and make sure you use a good amount of it too. They reckon for about an arm, you need about the size of a 20-cent piece. So make sure you're using enough of it as well. Doesn't have to be white. Your arm doesn't have to be white from the sunscreen, but it's got to be pretty. You got to put a good thin layer on there.
Moving on, what's some other general summer health advice, especially for those going away and diet and stuff like that? Should they stick to their routine as much as possible?
Yeah, definitely. When we go away or we're on holidays and we exit the routine, we may skip the gym, we may skip a meal, we may not have our normal breakfast, we may not have our normal lunch. It might be, let's get Uber Eats. The kids are saying, Dad, let's get Uber Eats, let's do it. And end up with a Big Mac. So, you got to do your best just to stay disciplined, that's all. And if you are going away, and, when you do go away, your whole routine is wrecked. So if you need snacks, take some little snacks with you that you normally would take. You know, if you're going somewhere where there's not going to be a good supply of fruit and veggies, take some with you. You know, little things like that can help. And always increase your fiber on holidays because, you know, constipation is one of the major, well, not major, but it's one of the most common things that happen when someone goes away. The change of routine tends to get people.
You keep away from ice creams. What do you think?
Nothing like a summer ice cream is there when you're on holiday.
What's your favourite? Can I guess what your favourite is?
Tell me.
You're like a Magnum guy.
I do like Magnum. I do like Magnums.
Why is that?
Actually, they're all right, but Maxibon's got to be my favourite.
Maxibon?
Yeah.
Maxibon. Okay.
I think because I'm old. And do you remember the old Monaco bar?
Yes.
So you had that biscuit part. So the Maxibon reminds me of that.
That was one of my favourites. That's right.
I used to love the Monaco bar.
Yeah, subhanallah. Quite similar there.
Yeah, well, I do have some ice cream in the fridge actually, in the freezer that I got recently. Again, it was a Bubble Bill, but in a the Bubble Bill in the bucket.
Talk about classic. Oh, in the bucket.
Yeah,
Bubble Bill is one of the longest ice creams I can remember.
I love it.
Paddle pop.
Yeah.
Icy Pulse still around.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, in moderation, I do like, everyone loves their summer ice cream, but not every day. You know.
You don't like the Lebanese ice cream? Hadla? Shout out.
It's not bad, but I don't know. I think probably because I grew up with the Bubble Bill, the Gay Time, and the Monaco bar.
Some of these ice cream places are, you know, they're quite, you know, keep away from them if you want to keep away from large amount, a lot of people.
Bit of a
hangout. Some of them,
yeah.
Yeah, so don't overdo the ice cream, especially with the sugar that they contain. Huh?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm going to make that Bubble Bill last a long time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Just for the
listeners out there. There is more options in the market that are a bit healthier, so maybe check them out.
Yes, definitely as well. Yeah, there's we're going on about ice cream, but there's that Halo one.
Yeah.
Which is not bad for a healthy ice cream. You know,
there's even a healthier one. I forgot its name. Even a better one with better ingredients as well.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. We don't want to drag off too much, but
no.
I've done a bit of research.
Yeah.
So I forgot
my wife doesn't like them though because it's too proteiny for her.
Yeah, there's another one. I remember its name. I've got a few of them. They're quite pricey, but that's the sad thing.
Yeah.
They're like sometimes quite pricey. But if I remember them, I'll mention them, inshallah. What about exercise?
So
keep exercising.
Keep exercising when it's hot. So you can exercise in the pool. Swimming, one of the best forms of exercising, using nearly every muscle in the body when you're swimming. Great for the heart as well. The breathing, just getting fit. So there's always an option. You know, get the kids involved as well.
So I notice when you do go away, especially with kids, you should be organised. You know, try to be organised. Organise your day. Organise what you have. You know, sunscreen. Bring your hats. You know, AeroGuard if you like. If
bring it all.
Mosquitoes everywhere.
Yep.
What about a first aid kit?
First aid kit. Hey, we see a lot of in the holidays. It's accident time in the pharmacy. Lots of little accidents are happening. Kids are at home. Kids are doing things. They're playing. So I always recommend, look, come summertime, check out what you got at home. Make sure you've got the antiseptic, your bandages, you've got everything. You're ready to go, because it's now peak season for the. I
don't want to keep mentioning the past, but the only first aid alternatives we had back in the day was a Dawa Ahmar. You remember?
Yes. Dawa Ahmar still around. Mercurochrome.
Yeah, that's it.
Mercurochrome.
That's
solution.
what I remember. If your hands fell off, to put Dawa Ahmar on.
Yes, it was, and it looked scary too because he's like, oh wow, this thing's red. So yeah, our
times have changed.
They have, but it's still around. It's still around. It's still effective as an antiseptic. So you could still use it if you want to reminisce, Nadal.
Now, what's this rehydration tablets?
So this is what Brother Ibrahim was asking about. So rehydration tablet, Hydrolyte. There's Rehydrate. Yeah. So it's basically, just the what we call the electrolytes. So sodium or salt, potassium. These are the things that actually you lose when you sweat, and these are the things that help you stay hydrated.
You can get them actually in tablet form and put them in water.
Yeah, tablet sachets. Put them in water. And drink them when you need them. For instance, I use them after a soccer game or during soccer. Instead of just water, I'll have some of those in in a bottle of in a bottle of water just to help with it. It doesn't taste. They taste a bit salty, but it doesn't taste as nice as a Gatorade.
Yeah,
but they're better.
Now, for the brothers and sisters who, may Allah, give them good health, how can, if they're regular on medication, what advice do you give them for those who take regular medication?
So again, in this heat, if you're on medications, just make sure the medications. If you haven't got air conditioning in the house, you may want to consider just in a dark cupboard somewhere in the cupboard, put your tablets or your medication in there. I've noticed over the years that a lot of the local Lebanese around Greenacre, for some reason, put everything in the fridge, including their medications. Not everything needs to go in the fridge. Look, there's no harm in putting it in the fridge, but it doesn't. Not everything needs to go in the fridge, especially your tablets. But
since you mentioned the Lebanese of Greenacre,
yes.
I grew up in Greenacre, so
yes.
You know about that. We used to always talk about truth and myth back in the day on
yes.
our Pharmacy Hour program. I've got one for you.
Yes.
Drinking water and sitting under the AC. That's going to harm you? Truth or myth?
That's a myth.
Is that?
Yes, I've heard this many times. Drinking cold water and then sitting under the air conditioner or sitting in the air conditioner. It's a myth. It's not going to make you sick. So it doesn't form part of my health tips, unfortunately. I may get some hate mail about that.
Probably, especially in Greenacre.
But, it doesn't make you sick. Drinking cold water and sitting under the air conditioner.
Now, when we do go away, a lot of us take our food with us, sometimes in eskies or whatever. What's some advice for food safety in summer?
Yeah, well, I think it's an important topic because, we have barbecues, we go away. So it's really, really important that you...
That's all they have, barbecues.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't love a barbecue in summer?
Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah. It's nice. I actually once had a barbecue for breakfast.
Yeah.
We had lamb chops.
Very nice.
From the night before, we didn't have enough to cook.
Yeah.
We were too full. So we cooked them it was camping actually. And we cooked them for breakfast.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Anyway, so we want to, even at home. So at home, you would
generally
we can dial up your fridge in summer. A lot of the fridges, you can set anywhere from 2 to 8 degrees, which is a normal fridge. So dial it up, get it down to 3 or 4. Because what happens in summer is because the air is around us so warm, once you open that fridge, it's even quicker for it to cool down. And if you've got kids, they tend to like to open the fridge and just stare at it for a while.
Not only stare.
Yeah.
Not only stare.
Just leave the door open and look at it.
And then they,
Yeah. So, do that. You can do something like that. It's always a good idea. Dial up your freezer as well. You can generally turn that up from, up to -18 or higher in some fridges. When you're out shopping, get the food back quickly. You don't want the Buffalo Bill ice cream melting. You don't want the chicken going off. And, if you're going to put food, if you want to put food into the fridge, a lot of people get confused about when to do this. So it shouldn't be straight away after it's hot. Let's say you've got some leftover food. If it's still steaming, just wait for it to stop steaming, but it's still hot or warm, and then put it in the fridge. Don't let it get cold. The advice is don't let it get cold and then put it in the fridge.
Okay.
So put in when it's still hot or warm, but not boiling hot. Yeah. So that's the best time to store or or put it into the freezer or anything like that. The other thing I would also recommend is when you're barbecuing, try maybe one of the biggest, food poisoning is more common in summer, and one of the biggest problems in food poisoning is chicken, raw chicken. Always been the number one, actually the number 2 after cooked rice, causing
Rice.
food poisoning.
Why is that?
I think people people think that rice doesn't go off. They might leave it out on the bench for like all day.
Oh, okay.
And they just think, oh, no, it's rice. It's not. Everyone sort of knows that meats can go off, and you should put them in the fridge straight away. But I think people get laxed about rice, and they think, oh, rice is no problem. When in fact rice is a problem and is the most common food that causes food poisoning.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then comes chicken. So chicken, when it's not cooked properly, even when you're barbecuing, you can even use a different set of tongs for chicken than the meat, because when you're handling that raw chicken, you don't want to be handling the meat straight after. The cross-contamination. So just something like that. I mean, not a lot of people do it, but it's a good idea just to make sure there's no issues after you barbecue.
Yeah, more barbecues in summer, as you know. So yeah, that's some great advice there. Jazakallah khair. Now we have come to the end, but before we do conclude, all this news about this COVID vaccine,
yes.
And with the recent, how can we say, advancement by some companies.
Yes.
What's the latest? What should we know?
Well, there's, we get a lot of questions about this, of course, a lot of talk about it, but there's basically there's about 3 vaccines out there now that looks like are going to be approved fairly shortly. So there's the vaccine by Pfizer, and there's a vaccine by a company called Moderna. So these are all big. Pfizer's a big American company, and Moderna's it's a newish kind of company. So they've got 2 vaccines, so one each, that are looking like that are very effective. According to the reports and the studies, they're about 95% effective, which is really, really high. So to put that into perspective, the normal flu vaccine that we give is about somewhere between 60 to 70, or actually, sorry, somewhere between 55 to 65% effective.
Oh,
so
more.
Yeah, so this is really, really high effectiveness. So it's actually quite surprising that it's so high, but it may be because they are a different type of vaccine. So,
what are they basing it on? Like this 95% accuracy rate?
Well, they have a study. I think
effectiveness. Sorry.
Yeah. So the study, I can't remember off the top of my head the amount of people in the Pfizer study, but I think it might have been 30 to 40,000.
That's a large amount, yeah.
Yeah, so some people get the placebo, some people get the actual vaccine, and then they're normal, ordinary citizens or workers or doctors or nurses or just a cross section of everyone, and they have to be in the pandemic. So they've really tried it out a lot of them in America, where the virus is still going crazy over there. And other countries, Brazil, I think, was another one that they tested it. And there was some people in Australia as well, and that kind of thing. And then they, through their studies, because people are still getting exposed to COVID, then they work out what the amount of people who actually got it versus, who didn't get it and things like that. So, look, the studies of, these companies have only done one study of each, but they're a large sample. So we're talking about 30,000 in one, and I think there was 40,000 in the other, and another one that had nearly 70,000. So it's a big pool of people, of subjects, and it's generally how it's done normally as well. But everything's been sped up. The process has been sped up. The approval process will be sped up because normally it does take longer. But this is I think with the urgency of what's going on, I think it's just everyone's just making sure that everything can be done. And look, the safety efficacy of these, there's no issue with safety. They're safe.
When is it expected to be rolled out here in Australia?
I think
I heard something about March.
Yeah,
right?
I think March for the fight. The issue with the Pfizer one is it needs to be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. Now, this is different to every other vaccine that we've got. Our cold chain, our cold chain, what we call our cold chain for vaccines, is 2 to 8 degrees. So
normal fridge,
2 to 8.
You know, like a what would you need to be able to?
This is some kind of special deep freezer. It's going to be transported with dry ice. That's how they're getting it around the world, in dry ice. So that's going to pose a problem for some countries. It's going to pose a problem. I mean, pharmacies, we don't have freezers. We have special fridges for vaccines, but they're all 2 to 8 degrees. So, you know, we need to work out in Australia what we're going to do. I'm not sure if the doctors have deep freezers for these. I'm not really sure what's in the doctors, if they have it or not. As far as I'm aware, they don't either. But there may be... so I heard initially that the hospitals would sort of take care of maybe the storage and maybe the administration, but again, it's all up in the air. I'm not exactly sure. It's only from that point of the storage of that vaccine needs to be at 70 now. But like I said, they're a new type of vaccine. So the Pfizer and the Moderna one, there's something called a mRNA vaccine. So what they basically do, not to sort of get too technical, but they, so most vaccines would use like a part vaccine from somewhere, and then grow the vaccine into like maybe, you know, sometimes they use birds, sometimes they use chimpanzees, sometimes they use whatever animal, and then that grows a protein, and that protein is the one that it's called a spike, what they call a spike protein, and that protein is what the body sees and says, "Hey, you're weird," and it makes an antibody to kill it. So that's how a normal vaccine would do it. What these the mRNA vaccines do, they teach our cells to make a protein, and so what that does is it works basically with the DNA, but it doesn't affect our DNA as such. So a lot of people get worried about DNA. So basically, the body makes the protein instead of getting the protein from a virus that's been grown in another animal and injected in. So it's basically teaching your body to grow the protein. So the good thing about that is you never actually get the virus. There's no virus inserted in you. There's no virus there's no virus that's actually put into you. It's just this instructions, if you like. Well, there's no other, it's like instructions. You're injecting instructions into the body to teach it how to make the spike protein.
So now, from what we hear, is it going to be a must for Australians to take, or is it going to be optional?
Look, I don't think in Australia the government can make you do anything.
I've heard airlines are going to make you.
But if you want to travel, I think if you want to, I think if you don't want to take it,
schools, you can, universities. Yeah,
if you don't want to take it, you probably don't have to. But I think unfortunately, in terms for for the people who, I appreciate that everyone's got their own thoughts about vaccines, but I think if you don't take this one, you probably end up going to be an outcast. You won't be able to travel anywhere. You won't be able to do a lot of things. I think such is the information and
it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing, I don't want to call it hype, but the hype around it. It's going to be difficult for you not to take the vaccine.
Yeah, Allah guide us to that which is best.
Amen.
Yeah, in Islam, we are always instructed to ask the people of knowledge if we don't know. Yeah. And that's something sadly today most people don't do. They just do their own Google research, Facebook, and it becomes an emotional discussion and argument for both pro and anti vaccine topic, and other topics as well. Just an example. But
of course,
inshallah, if in future we can maybe have a longer discussion when there's more information available, maybe in the upcoming year, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala.
Inshallah. There is, don't forget, when we go to Hajj, we have to take a vaccine.
Yes.
We have to. You're not allowed in without it. So, millions and millions of us have been taking the meningococcal vaccine for many years, and alhamdulillah, I don't know of anyone who's, I haven't heard of any reports of anyone, with ill effects, long-term ill effects from anything like that. So inshallah, these vaccines will be the same.
Now, before we finish, a few questions as we normally do. I was scrolling through the Your Discount Chemist app as I normally do.
Yes.
So download it from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Very easy to use app. Downloaded the latest catalog because I'm out of the area, so I don't get it anymore.
Yes.
But anyway, it's another topic.
Oh, have you moved?
Yes, I'm not in Greenacre no more, so I'm out. Quite a bit out, but alhamdulillah. So I used to get the catalog regularly.
Yes.
So
wait, have you signed up for the email?
I'm not an email type of bloke.
Well,
that's why I go to the app.
If you get the app, that's fine.
So
you get the notification.
So I downloaded the end of year catalog.
Yes.
And I was a bit surprised with one thing. Do you think you know what that one thing is? You're probably going to know.
No.
Something stood out. We always discuss it. We have an update about this product.
Oh, do we?
Panamax, $1.49.
Oh, the Panamax, yes.
What's going on?
Yeah, we
100 tablets, $1.49. Was it 200 for $2 before, or what's going on? It was 100 for $2.
It's it was 100 for $2.
You slashed
normally.
The price for
we thought we would. It's been a tough year for everyone, so we've cut the prices on a lot of things actually.
Are they still selling?
We've done. Yes, Panamax still very popular. Still very popular.
I was actually giving my son a history lesson about Panamax in the car. He had no idea what it was.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
I told him we didn't know what Panadol was growing up. It was Panamax.
It was Panamax. I don't think I ever saw a box of Panadol in my house.
When people used to go overseas, as we've discussed before, they'll take a suitcase and there'll be around 30 boxes of Panamax in the suitcase.
Yes.
I don't know if that's even legally allowed anymore, is it?
Well, it's not, but people still try to buy a lot.
What else have we got in this month's catalog? End of year catalog. So make sure you download it.
Look, it's a big catalog, 32 pages.
32, I noticed.
It's really big this month, and the perfumes have been very, very popular.
What's your favourite?
I'm a Fahrenheit guy. Actually. Fahrenheit. I do like Fahrenheit. It's one of my favourites. I don't mind Nautica for good value.
Yeah,
$20 Nautica Voyage, fantastic. One for Abdurrahman over here.
Yes,
it's a very, very good one for the price. But yeah, we've got hundreds of perfumes on special. There's actually a really, really big catalog this month. So definitely check it out online if you like, or pop in.
The website as well, yourdiscountchemist.com.au.
Yes.
And Brother Saeed can be found at the Your Discount Chemist in Greenacre.
Yes.
Also, you'll find his beloved brother there. He doesn't like to be mentioned, but I'm going to mention him. He was also a pharmacist, one of my close, dear personal friends.
Yes.
Brother Hamdi.
Yes.
He's also there.
He's also there. He tries to hide, but he's there.
He's there, and he also gives great advice.
Yes. He's very, very knowledgeable, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. May Allah preserve him and you and all your family. Sadly, we've come to the end of tonight's program with our dear beloved brother Saeed Khodary. Any final comments, Brother Saeed?
No, just everyone enjoy their holidays and enjoy the outdoors.
Inshallah, Brother Saeed will be back with us. We plan to have him on at least once a month, December, inshallah, and January, bi'idhnillah, and every month, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. I'd like to thank him one more time, and I'd like to thank all the brothers and sisters who viewed online or listened on our app. Please download our app if you haven't downloaded it already, Albayan Radio app, and listen to our podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Albayan Media Australia. Until next time, barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Albayan Radio, the voice of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah.